up, everyone? For you all who didn't know, my name is Tabius. I'm a 2020 grad, and I love playing the game of baseball. So as you all can see in the title of the video, you probably know what this video is going to be about. But basically, that's basically what the video is going to be about. So today is June 1st, 2019, and it has been a week since one of the worst, most worst events of my life happened, and it has been a day, about 24 hours since I have received, I would say one of the worst set of bad news in my life. Probably the second worst after my grandmother passing away. But basically, a backstory on how I got this news. So as you all know, Memorial Day is like opening day for summer baseball. And this is like my first year of playing, like really have a competitive travel ball schedule. And I was pretty pumped up and happy about this season, because I had just came off a good high school season. I was defensive player of the year, had a pretty good average. So I was ready for this. I was ready for this summer season. However, it didn't go as planned. So our first game was on a Friday. I didn't do as good as I was like, but I went 0 for 2. Struck out first at bat, and I popped up second at bat. And it wasn't what I would like. Normally, if I go 0 for something in a game, I'll be down on myself. But I kind of had a winning spirit, and I was like, I'm gonna do better the next day. So we had a game Saturday. That Saturday, I listened to my pregame playlist. I was pumped up, happy to be playing. I was a starting catcher that game. So I think our team took the field first. So the first batter got walked. So it was going through my mind as a catcher. He had a big lead, so I was like, I'm gonna throw him out. So after the second pitch, I see him running. I threw him out. I had the first out of the game. I was real pumped up after that. I was like, nothing could really down my energy. So I think it was probably the second inning. Yeah, I had got up to bat, and I'm not knowing that this at bat would like kind of change my life forever. That I saw first pitch fastball, even though I shouldn't took first pitch fastball, but I took the first pitch. The second pitch, I was like, I was waiting for the fastball again. He threw a fastball. I hit a ground ball down third base line. And, I was running as fast as I could. I knew in my head I was thinking I was gonna beat this ball out. So when I looked, I was a couple steps from the bag, and I see where the ball was, and he was like just releasing it. I was like, I'm for sure gonna be out. I'm for sure gonna be safe. And I actually was safe. But as I was going through the bag, I ran through the bag and I tripped over the first baseman's foot. And this is like, I've never felt anything like this before. It was more so like a pop, but it didn't feel like I broke anything. And I know if I broke something, I would have, it would have been a lot more. I would have screamed, a lot more painful. But I felt something moved shifted the wrong way. Something popped. I don't know what it was, but I was hoping, and I just fell to the ground. I was hoping it wasn't a broken bone. That was the worst thing I was thinking. I was hoping that it happened because I would be out for weeks. So I look at my knee, look at my left leg. I didn't see any broken bones or anything. So I was like, okay, so it was a sigh of relief there. But however, I tried to get up. I was thinking maybe I just hit my knee or something, or maybe I just turned the wrong way. So I tried to get up, and I normally have a high tolerance for pain, but this time I couldn't walk. So I remember I was hopping on one leg back to the dugout, and they had a pinch runner on, and as soon as like I get to the dugout, I look at my left knee, and it's like swollen. Like I have never had, like I said, I've never had an injury that's that severe where I probably twisted my ankle or something, but nothing like this. So I couldn't put pressure on it. So that Saturday, mom got home from work, I told her what happened, and we iced it. Took soaked in a warm bath. I was thinking maybe I'll be able to play on Sunday, so I was like maybe the swelling will go away. It's just a bruise or something like that. But that Sunday actually, that Sunday morning, I had noticed like the swelling was a little bit worse, and I still couldn't put pressure on it. So we went to the ER and they did an X-ray. They said nothing was broken, nothing was fractured. So I was happy then. And it was like maybe it could be a pull or muscle pull or a strain. So I was like, I didn't want to miss a game, of course, but I knew that we had a tournament that next week. So I was like, hopefully I'll be well to play on that Monday or Tuesday. So if it was a pulled muscle, probably would have been out for a week, but I would have been ready for next week's tournament. However, they did suggest me getting an MRI because it was swelling and I still couldn't walk. So I left that day out of ER with I left with crutches, and Monday was Memorial Day, so my mom scheduled an appointment that Tuesday for orthopedic surgeon, and we had the appointment I think that Wednesday, and we had an appointment that Wednesday, and that Wednesday, pretty much the orthopedic surgeon, it was a quick appointment. He was like, so obviously there's nothing broke, but looking at your knee, obviously you pulled something with a ligament or a muscle. So he scheduled MRI for that Friday. That Friday gotta get out MRI at 6 a.m. And I was kind of happy leading up to the event because I was like, I'm gonna be able to play pretty soon. But however, God had a different path. So got the MRI. Got there. This appointment was at 6:30. I was taking MRI. Started at 6:45. We left at 7:45. And they was like the results would be there in 3 hours. You see the results in 3 hours. So I remember this day like it was yesterday. So me and Mom, we basically went on about our day, waiting for the results. But however, as we went about the results, the orthopedic surgeon the office didn't open to 10. So my mom called at 10, and we couldn't get in touch. So her phone ended up dying. So as we're going to the car, we did a little bit of shopping. As we were going back to the car, we checked the voicemail, and we're on our way home. And basically, we listened to the voicemail from the doctor with the orthopedic surgeon. He was like, basically, I was hearing the news, and and I'll tell you, this was like the longest 2 minutes of my life. Like, I was like, just get straight to the point. So he was like, we got the MRI, and basically, we have like a torn ligament, and a torn ligament in your ACL. You could get a torn in your ACL, and sometimes you don't need surgery. But he's like, we're looking at surgery. He's basically wanting to transfer me to the surgeon. I think the last time like I've cried was like 2 years ago when my grandmother passed away. So, but when I heard that, like that was the longest 2 minutes of my life, like my heart just stopped, because when you said, it was like you have basically my torn ACL, what was going through my mind was like, a torn ACL takes 9 months to recover. So I was like those 2 minutes, like I bust down tears. I cried for I was crying for like 15, 30 minutes straight. And to the point to like, Like my mom doesn't cry that much either, but like both of us were, like in tears, because like what was going through my mind at that point was like my baseball career is over. Because like if you know, for baseball, your summer, if you don't have an offer going to your senior year, your summer ball season going to your senior year, if you don't have an offer, that's usually when you get your offers, and that's usually when you become committed, or that fall. But after that fall, it's typically, you're on a tightrope there if you don't have any offers. So, this summer, going to the summer, I knew for a fact I was going to get an offer. I knew for a fact I was going to get at least one college offer. I was aiming for a Division I offer. And that, that's my goal. And I knew it was going to happen this summer or beginning of fall. Like, I knew I was going to get a Division I offer. And because I got faster, I was hitting harder, throwing harder. So it was like, no way I shouldn't. But God had a different plan. Like that was, I only played two summer season games. Really, one in a quarter. Really, and for him to say I had a torn ACL, and at that point, like once I heard that, like I was in a knee immobilizer, and I was still using crutches then. I didn't use crutches for like 2 days, so that's when I thought, I didn't think anything like this severe would happen. But so at that point, I was like, it was like, I looked at it as a setback, and my mom was like, no, it's not a setback, because it's a setback. Because I'm like, still to this day, like right now, like I'm still trying to get like, what's the positive out of all this? Like I asked God, like what is the positive out of this coming? Like for this to happen to me for my first injury, it was a hard challenge for me. So that's part of why I made this video, because and now I look at it, like when I actually reflected on it, I was like, this is like minor to what people, like you have children that go to chemotherapy and have cancer 2 or 3 times in their life before they're even a teenager. So this is like minute compared to what they experience. So that's why I wanted to start this YouTube channel, and basically on my journey back to recovery. So I'm looking at surgery in possibly July. I'm praying for, at 4 months, I'm praying to be running and to be healthy, walking without any assistance. Meanwhile, I'm going to try to, like, I'm still trying to, right now I can walk without a knee immobilizer, but I still have a limp, so sometimes I try using knee immobilizer, but I don't have crutches right now. So my first start of my journey is, like, of course, prehab. So we're trying to do prehab, and I just wanted to share my journey. My journey is not as hard compared to a lot of kids my ages, what they have experienced in life, but I just want to help those even who are going through a sports injury, even not just a sports injury, but a setback in life. So I want you all to like, share this video with everybody because even if you don't play sports, even if you don't have an injury, it's still, I want to serve as motivation to those who are going through something in life. So thank you all for taking the time to listen to me. I know this video is kind of long, but basically that's it, guys. So join me on my journey from June 1st to be signed my Division I